Hello everyone, welcome to Onyx Earth Tarot. Everything you need to know about me is in the description box below. So we are back with another pick a card reading. This one is timeless, it is love-based, kind of, and it is 18 plus. So I'm gonna piggyback off of my most recent upload. You don't have to watch this in real time for it to apply, hence the timeless aspect. But so many of you kind of at the point of me making this video selected like a pile that was like very interesting for me, so I'm not gonna spoil it if you have not watched that video, but it was inspiring. So we have this cute little thumbnail that I made called Love You S'more, and I think I'm gonna call this one What Makes You Lovable and Sweetly More Attractive. That is so corny, but I cannot help myself. Okay, I cannot help myself. I have to do this. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna select our s'more ingredients, and then at the end of each pile we're gonna see how that quality, those qualities, those attributes you have, how they turn people on, how they get people going in an 18 plus way. Somewhat censored because YouTube don't play that. Okay, so I'm not gonna wallow, I'm not gonna dwell, I'm gonna hop right into the pile selection. This is the moment in which you select your pile if you are visually impaired, or if you simply like to listen to me verbally describe so that you can select. So pile 1 is the graham crackers. Okay, cute little graham crackers. Pile 2 is the toasted marshmallows, and pile 3 is the melted chocolate. Okay, I will give you a moment to meditate on your selection. And once you select your pile, I will see you there. All right, pile 1, if you selected the graham crackers, then this is what makes you lovable and sweetly attractive. See how organized I am when I have like a concept in mind before I start? That might be relevant. It might be relevant. I don't know why I'm doing that. So let's see. Tell me about pile 1. And if you skip the intro, then basically I'm gonna pull like a keyword here. I'm gonna pull from some oracle decks, the astrology deck, and then at the end I'll pull from that erotic sex answers oracle, so we can see how these very sweet and I guess innocent qualities you have turn people on. Okay, so let's see. Pile 1. Let's see. We'll look at that one and we'll take the bottom. Ironically enough, look at you, pile 1. Look at you, pile 1. Innocence. So just literally just something about you just comes across as extremely innocent in general. I did not make this up. So this is why we live shuffle these days, so that you can't think I'm just shuffling through the decks to find specific cards. So ambition. So I did mention earlier that I'm like very organized with the structure of this reading and like the whole concept of it and the way that I'm going about it. So maybe that applies, right? You do have like ambition. So like you may be very ambitious, and for whatever reason, painted lady is standing out. So like you may have tattoos. I know that's not like the quote unquote innocent, but something, maybe you have very sweet and innocent tattoos, or maybe your something about your tattoos just stands out to people in general. Doesn't matter the gender, or something about you being creative or an artist, or like a painter, like just something about your very creative nature and how ambitious you are as it relates to that is really what people find. I'm hearing the word adorable. Okay, so definitely the case. So let's pull. Well, hold on. I have one more. Hope. So yeah, you're very like hopeful and like very optimistic, and like people just find you very just sweet. So like you're very ambitious as it relates to like matters of faith and everything. Like you always see the brighter side of something, and you're very active in your pursuit of it. Like you always seem to find a way to bring out the positive of any situation, see light in everything. Very cup half full versus empty perspective you have, and people just, it's like a bright-eyed view of the world, right? Like everything is good in the world, even when it's not, you can still find it. And that's what people find very sweet sweetly attractive about you, okay? But yeah, like a childlike wonder and innocence in the world. I love that this card came out. It's funny that it actually came out for pile one. So let's pull more cards and see more details of what is lovable about you. Tell me more about pile one. What's lovable about pile one? That was quick. Okay. Healing. Okay. It says the frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. Exactly. Harmonizing everything accordingly. You will find the bright side of something. It doesn't matter what it is. You will see, like you, some of you, it's not necessarily like a naivety, like on the, there's always polarities here, right? There's some of you that are like very, very green and very innocent and naive. And then there's those of you that have really experienced some of the darker sides of the world, some deeply shadow aspects of the world, and you choose to see the bright side anyway. So this healing card shows that like some of you, even matters of literal death, you see the bright side. You see it more as a transition, as like a homegoing when cycles end, right? Whether that's, you know, the death of a plant, of like of a pet, and even in the most extreme cases, like of people that you care about. Like you just see the bright side in all of that, as traumatic as it may be in the moment. Tantric journey. The frequency of the tantric journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and another. So this actually is the concept I'm talking about. Like I know that this is a very sensual energy already coming into the pile, but we talk about hidden knowledge. We talk about wholeness and completion and just reaching it and just being very complete. That's what I mean. Like there's, like you see everything as a half truth. Like there's a positive, but there's a shadow, but there's always going to be a positive to support it. There's always going to be a bright side, and you're very one with that concept, okay? And people just love that bright-eyed approach to life that you have. And this tantric journey is actually very sensual energy coming through. I'm not going to place it because I want space for all of my cards, but this shows that like even your approach to sensual 18 plus matters, right? Like it's very, very sweet, very innocent, very healing, very deeply spiritual in some senses, but like you still approach it from a certain innocence, from a certain healing, from a natural perspective, right? Like it's not about kinks for you, it's about sensuality. Okay, so let's pull from this tarot deck. I'm actually a little too high up. I had to drop down. So sorry for those of you with headphones. I'm trying to not do that, but it's habit, y'all. It's habit. Let's see. Tell me more about pile one. What makes them sweetly attractive and lovable? That's not a good shuffle. Let's see if I can get one good shuffle, and then we will. That's good enough. Okay. Let's see. Patience and planning. So I was thinking that with how difficult the deck was to get like a good shuffle, you're not very easy. Like you're very ambitious and you're always kind of goal oriented, whether it is in your creative endeavors or like possible professional endeavors, whatever your focus is on with this ambition, like that's where your attention often is, with a very bright-eyed look. Like your eyes are wide open, right? Wide open, but on the prize, like where you're trying to go. And so with this patience and planning, this is the Seven of Pentacles. It's all about a harvest. Like you're always focused on that. Like you're patient, you plan, but also, I was also getting something else as I was trying to finish my statement. That harvest after hard work, that harvest after seeds have been planted, you always expect the best. We've been talking about that since the start of this reading, but you always expect the best, even when things look, it's kind of like, and you may have investments, but it's kind of like the stock market, right? It's like, okay, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, but you play the long game. You're not invested in any showers, any showers that are occurring in any moment, because you know the sun has to come out, right? Like the little orphan Annie, like the sun will always come out at some point. So you just wait it out, and like you're always optimistic as you do. And you often see results, right? Because this is also a card of results. This is a card of results after being patient, after doing the work, after being ambitious, and you seeing what you've been waiting for come to light, to fruition, right? So let's see if I can get 2 more cards, and we'll take the bottom. Tell me more about what makes pile 1 lovable. That was a very flowy card. Yeah, you're very agreeable. You get along with a lot of people, right? Partnerships and alliances. Something about the letter P may be very relevant in your life, since patience, planning, and partnerships. You may own a business, some of you, but this number 3 of partnerships and alliances, and this is the 3 of Wands. It is the 3 of Wands. It just reads like the 3 of Pentacles in this deck for whatever reason. So I treat it as both, but it's like the long game. Like this 3 of Wands and 7 of Pentacles energy is very, very similar, right? You always look ahead, and you know, like your head, honestly, that whole energy, I think, of the hard to get to some degree is not even because you're hard to get with that ambition. It's truly because you're looking past everything and everyone to the prize, right? Patience, waiting for the harvest. You're watching the crops grow, the flowers bloom. You're looking out, right? This is traditionally like someone with 3 wands looking at a ship that is floating away or 2. So you're watching the boat come back. You're watching the boat sail off. You're looking ahead to where you're going and where you want to be. And like people admire that. They think that's very sweet, that's very lovable. But you do. You're very agreeable. You get along with a lot of people. You collaborate very well with partnerships and alliances. You mesh well, okay? So let's get one more. We will take the bottom. Okay, I'll take, that's way too many. Let's not. I'll get a good shuffle, and we'll not take that many tarot cards. And there's the good shuffle. So let's get one more, and we'll take the bottom. Tell me more about pile 1. I guess I don't like, okay, I mean, and it's 3 again. So 3 may be a relevant number, since your last card was 3 and 3 cards came out. You have the authority. You don't take no for an answer, apparently, because of your cards and how stubborn they were, right? So the number 4, that is the Emperor. So even in your innocence, even in your purity, your very creative and gentle nature, right? You have a certain authority about you, right? A certain power, a certain influence. And that is that ambitious energy here. So I guess I'll put that over here underneath ambition, because you do. And you have strength, which is Leo energy. So Aries, Leo, very fiery. That's a lot of creativity, a lot of passion. So what I'm seeing, the dominant energy is your highly creative energy is what makes you very lovable. Like people love how creative you are, okay? How inspiring you are. Definitely the case. So Aries, Leo, and then you have the base chakra. That's very creative energy too. On the physical plane, you're very good at doing things physically. Like whatever skills, talents, creativity that you have, it's not just concepts for you, right? Because these 2 minor arcana, and it's not lost on me that you have 3 major arcana coming out, right? But the 2 minor arcana cards you have are cards of accomplishments. It's cards of goals. It's cards of end results, right? It's like, I've done all I can do. Now I just have to wait it out. And I know in waiting it out, it's going to be very successful, right? With this authority, power, and base chakra. You're very good at manifesting, very good at creating, okay? Your creative endeavors may be very inspiring. So whatever it is, whether you write, you paint, whatever the thing is that you do, it's very, very, it gives passion in people. It makes people feel very, very good to experience your creation. So whatever that is, whether you do it professionally or if you do it personally and just share it with the people around you, they love that, okay? At the bottom, you do have the 6 of Swords, which is moving on. You're always looking ahead. You're always moving ahead. Not necessarily looking to get ahead, even though I see that a lot here. But like, you definitely, like, you're always moving ahead, right? The end of the harvest, right? Looking out ahead in the Three of Wands, and now the Six of Swords, moving from one place to another. Like you're always on the go, and people think that's very lovable. Like you may be the type that really keeps a room engaged. Like if you are very social, which I can see in some instances, you're very good at keeping a room engaged and entertained because of your energy. Like not necessarily in like a center of attention way, even though we do have the power, which is influenced by Leo here, right? And then Aries is just naturally an authority energy of yourself. Like you naturally attract a lot of attention simply by being who you are organically, right? So that's beautiful. Lots of red, okay? But that's also base in earth. So let's pull more cards and see what's going on with pile one. Tell me more about what makes pile one lovable. I'm holding the deck underneath. Could be words, could be your communication style with that air card. And since we're talking about this, base is the chakra one, and then authority, Aries energy, that is first house energy. Just truly just your identity and your personality, because Leo, sun, fifth house. So just your personality and your identity, truly just being naturally yourself. And fifth house energy is joy, pleasure. So you really do, like you heal people, you instill joy and pleasure in people just by being you. And that's what's so lovable, is that you don't have to try. It's very natural for you. Okay, so let's see if I can get one card, because I'm going to have to minimize the number of other cards I get because your tarot took over the pile. There we are. And look at that. Very fiery. When you want to control things, you do. But it's very from a very sweet, childlike way. Like it's not a doubt. Like even though we have the Emperor here and we have power, like power is all about balance. It's kind of like a silent strength. It's not overpowering people. It's just being who you are in your power and commanding attention and whatnot. So it's like you have the very powerful, passionate, creative energy, and you control the energy of spaces without being dominant. It's a silent, like it's very silent, very quiet control, right? So fire is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and it says confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. I talked about that confidence a little bit, but here's your confirmation. But optimism and bravery are definitely those key themes that we talked about earlier. So I'm gonna put this over here. Lots of red, lots of passion. And because of all of this fire, your passion for life and everything that you do and every day literally gets people going. Like that's the passion that people are very attracted to you. Okay, they are. Whether it's because they want to be friendly with you, whether it's because they want to be romantically involved with you, or if they're truly just sensually attracted to you because you're like a breath of fresh air with all of this passion. Because unfortunately, there aren't that many people that vibrate at this frequency, that radiate this much light on a day-to-day basis, okay? At the bottom, you have cardinal, initiation energy, highly creative, and you have that here in this authority card. And you also, I consider this base chakra as well. And you may have Aries placement, maybe Leo as well, but definitely Aries, because the fire and the Emperor, and now cardinal, because the fire sign that is cardinal is Aries. So the cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, and is that Libra? It's Libra. I don't know why I hesitated, but definitely. So it says instigation, bravery again, and a pioneering spirit. So you are a risk taker. I'm getting that. So like that bravery, when we talk about it not being a very dominant energy, right? Because you may have dominant periods and times, but overall your energy of bravery feels like someone that's not afraid to start something new or take risks or take a chance on a creative endeavor. Like all of the powerful, passionate things, that inspiring energy. It's like that fairy tale energy, that hero energy in all of your favorite novels and shows and movies. That's you. That's how people see you. And that's what people find very lovable. Like you kind of get everybody engaged in the situation. So if there's a collaboration that needs to happen, you can be counted on to take the lead and get people excited about it. Whether it's something people want to do or if they have to do it, you'll find the fun and entertainment in it. Okay. Very great. Very great energy. So let me pull more cards. Tell me more about pile one and what makes them lovable. Okay. Exactly. And this is like a energy of something finalizing as well, landing in that position. But I will put it upright, right? The energy is gaining momentum, the waxing moon. Like I said, you can build up a room, you can build up a team, you can build up a group. Like, it's just your energy, you build people up. And that also talks about arousal from a sensual perspective. You know, you get people going, you really do. So beautiful, beautiful energy coming through. Just your energy is very uplifting. You have a very, like, honestly, the people that are very in their low vibrational state, I hate using that phrase. I promise I hate using that phrase. But like people that are very low, right? Someone that's not in their power, that's not where they want to be in life, they may not really like you like that, Power One, because like you are too, your energy can be a lot for somebody like that. I can empathize with that other personality type because you're kind of like the opposite polarity for somebody that's very downtrodden and just struggling. And like, if you have people that don't like you, that's why, right? So don't take it personally. It's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of the space and energy that these individuals are in, okay? Because you have a big energy, a big personality. Even if you're more on like the quieter side, just something about the things you do, the way you perform, it is loud, okay? It's very loud. Like even if your work speaks for itself, it speaks, okay? So just don't take that personally, right? Step out of your comfort zone. North Node. You're on your right path. You're on the path. And people can tell because when I read this card, it talks about someone that's exactly where they're meant to develop in this life or headed in that trajectory. And so with you doing that, you find yourself naturally in situations and spaces around people that push you even further on that. So you may be one of those people that people find that life is just very easy for. And that's not that it's easy. It's just that you're headed in collaboration with spirit, not against it, right? You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're headed where you're supposed to be instead of resisting the changes around you. You're not afraid to step out of your comfort zone and try something new. You have a very brave, pioneering spirit, and that's very, very, like I said, it's the hero, heroine in all of your favorite stories, right? That is you. And that's very beautiful. You may be the type to kind of romanticize your life day in and day out, even the most mundane tasks, just finding creativity and inspiration in all. That's very beautiful. Do not change, okay? So let me keep pulling cards. Let's see. Tell me more about pile one. What makes them lovable? I heard the word carefree. So let's see. Tell me more about pile one. What makes them lovable? And the qualities that make people find them even more attractive. Let's see. Pile one. Okay. Sweet and sticky. You might pick another pile. You might pick pile two because that's what I consider to be the melted marshmallow on the s'more. That's what I think. So maybe you're a pile twoer as well, but I haven't done it, so I don't know. But yeah, it says kind, caring, compassionate, loving, physical touch. So yeah, you may touch all over things and people. You may be like a childlike wonder. You see something that you like and you just grab it without even thinking about it. That may be your personality. Like the do not touch and you do anyway. But again, that's that bravery, that's that pioneer spirit, that's that fearlessness that people really, really admire about you. But very kind and caring, very sweet like honey. Like you're very, very sweet. So despite how, brave and dominating you can be and how creative you are and whatnot, basically like you still are compassionate to other people. You still have empathy. Like you're still very loving and all of the things. Okay. Beautiful. So I'm going to pull one more and take the bottom. Revenge is at the bottom so far though. That is newness, revenge body, luxury, reaching goals, sudden success. So this is how people see you. Sorry, I don't mean to shake the table, even though you often do from a very loving way. So let's see. So I got messages jumping in as that card fell in reverse. And I find it interesting because I do often associate this performer card with Leo energy. So it says shine, confidence, musician, spotlight, dance, communication. And it makes a little bit of sense in reverse, ironically enough, falling on top of the Leo card. But it says pretending, fake, fear, unapproachable. And I don't think that that's your energy. Some of you may be a bit standoffish, right? And that's okay. You're still very nice. You're very approachable, but I'm seeing two energies. So those of you that are a little unapproachable, a little on the shy side, maybe quiet, but your work and all the things you do speaks for itself. You shy away from the attention, even though it like follows you like a flashlight, right? But also some of you may downplay your energy, your success, your passion, how good you are at things, as a means to kind of not brag. It's like humble, like you're very humble and you don't want people to feel less than in situations where you can see that happening. So you kind of downplay your own light, not in a dimming your light way, but in a, there's no need for me to take over this whole energy all the time, every day. You try to make sure that other people, right, in that partnerships and alliances have their time to shine as well, right? That's very lovable. You want to give their due. You want to give people their due share and their due energy and whatnot. Like, I can't find the phrase right now, but you like to make sure that everyone is recognized and that everyone is appreciated and valued, and that everyone has an opportunity to share their skills, their talents, and the things that they've been good at as well. So you try not to overwhelm the space with you, right? Some of you have that self-awareness enough to know that that happens, and that's why you have performer in reverse. And that also has another connotation of being very authentic, because I know in the reverse it says pretending and fake, but I do feel like an upright performer is someone that is putting on a show, right? So in reverse, a performer could be someone that is not performing. It's someone that is authentically themselves, as I've been saying in this reading, right? At the bottom, you have addiction, excessive drinking, sex addict, unhealthy coping mechanisms. That is not a card I expected to see. I think I mentioned tattoos earlier. Definitely might have tattoos, but let me sit with this energy for a second. Ooh, addiction is passion. It can be obsession, right? So for me, it's like, when you head into something and you love something or someone, you go all in. You're deeply attached, you're deeply passionate, you're deeply affected and all in and become consumed by it. But that's your heavily creative nature, right? Sometimes you may do it in excess, but that addiction shows that you hone in on whatever it is until you get to that Seven of Pentacles harvest, that Three of Wands of waiting for it to, you know, to come to life. Like, you will not budge until you see that you've done all you can do to let it go. Because all of your cards talk about someone that's done everything in their personal power to reach an end goal, and then giving it to God. Or maybe you don't, maybe you still obsess over it, but you're all in until you begin to see results. And that's part of what makes you so successful, is your nature of staying committed to something until you can't, right? So that is it. So I will move this. I don't want it there because I may layer more, so I'll put that over to the side, and then we'll pull more. So now I am on the love-based oracle deck. So we're gonna see definitely how you make people feel, specifically from a romantic perspective, from these two decks, and then I'll do that sex answers, erotic sex oracle, to see how you get people going. Okay, so tell me about pile one. How do these qualities make people feel? My number is 3, by the way, those of you that want to know chemistry. There's the strong magnetic attraction here. So like, all of your creative energy just makes people feel even more creative and inspired, just like we talked about. But like, from a romantic perspective, people connect with you automatically because of how open and receptive you are as a creative. Okay, so lots of chemistry. So, oh, and I forgot to mention, a lot of times for these readings, sorry, you guys like to use the love sections, either generally if you're single, or if sometimes you have a specific person in mind. So either way, it's the chemistry. There's strong chemistry, a strong magnetic attraction when people are invested in you romantically because of how open and receptive you are, especially if you're asking about a specific person. You have a very strong, intense magnetic chemistry, okay? Definitely the case. So let's get 2 more. You know what? I'm not gonna fight it. I'm not even gonna take reversals for whatever. I don't feel like I should take them. So someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Okay, you got okay, that's a lot of cards. You know what? I don't like to do this, but I'm sorry. I can't. It's way too many. It's way too many. So let me start back. This not, I can't. So pile 1, give me 2 more, please. Okay, there we go. Unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So the interesting thing is that I see here, so this is general. I'll see if I can find it for those of you that like to connect this energy to specific people. But I'm seeing that you're so passionate, you're so creative, that you have a lot of secret admirers. You have a lot of people that are interested in you, pile 1, but you're not, it's not mutual. You're just very passionate, very receiving, very open and loving to everybody. So you often kind of leave like a trail of hearts behind you because people start thinking they have chemistry with you, and it's one-sided, right? It's just because you're very nice, you're very kind. Remember, I mentioned earlier, you have an energy that most people don't have. You're very empathetic, you're very healing naturally, and you have this big energy. And so a lot of people don't normally step into that energy that you have naturally unless they're in love with somebody. So when you experience somebody and they experience you, sometimes it's like, oh, pile 1's definitely into me because look at how, you know, their eyes light up when they're talking to me. But your eyes light up because of life, right? Your eyes are full of life. And so that's what happens. Some of you, a specific person, outside of the specific people that have the one-sided thing with you, specific person sees that you're so passionate and that way with everybody, they're wondering if it's genuine to them. Like if they're wondering if they're special. Okay, it came through just now. Like your person, if you have one, they're wondering if they're special, or if this is just that big personality that you have where you could easily replace them with anyone and not even notice that it's not them, if that makes sense. So let's pull another one. Yeah, that's that deception. And maybe that's why you have performer in reverse. Someone's wondering if you're authentic. And some people are wondering, remember I mentioned the people that are a bit negative, they're wondering if you're a bit phony because of how passionate you are and how always optimistic and happy. They don't see your downside, so they're wondering if you're even real, right? You deserve love. You are lovable, okay? At the bottom, you have very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So I feel that this plays on that energy, that collective energy of how people naturally are attracted to you, sometimes one-sided, that you deserve love because you treat people so loving, because you feel that people are deserving of love. Now that makes you even more lovable. You feel people deserve love. You feel that all people deserve love. And that's why you carry yourself in that way. But it does leave people feeling like you've connected with them on a much deeper level than you actually have. Now, that said, I do see something coming in for you, regardless of if it is a connection you have or a connection that's coming in, because you do have the chemistry, you have the unrequited love, but then you deserve love. So it's like maybe there's something you've either resisted or something you're not sure about, but very soon you'll have a confirmation regarding your loving energy, okay? And something you deserve. Okay, so let me pull more from these other decks. We'll see. Some of you here are not very into your sensual energy. right? And so while you have this very open and loving and passionate energy as it relates to your creative endeavors and empathy with other people, when it comes to sensuality, there's a bit of issues, fear of intimacy here. And you're being encouraged to open up, and you'll have that opportunity very soon. So I don't know if that says relates to a specific connection. Okay, Pawan, but that is a message for you. Tell me more about Pawan. What makes them attractive, and what do people find very sweet about them? Whoa, I almost lost this deck. Let's be careful. Okay, disharmony. There seems to be some disconnect. Use this time to address any issues, to restore harmony in this relationship. So disharmony, I'm seeing it in many ways. So disharmony is if you're talking about a connection or just your love life in general, that's that very soon that you deserve love. If you've been unlucky in love and blessed in other areas, right? Chemistry, unrequited, you deserve. This is balancing out. Right, that's that disharmony that's been balancing out. Now, if this is a specific connection, then all of the disharmony very soon, okay? So let me get 2 more. We'll take the bottom, and then we'll close it out with that Erotic Sex 6 Answers Oracle deck. Give me 2 more, please, for pile 1. Thank you. Exactly what I asked for. So, emotional support. Now is the time to check in with your emotions and your partner's thoughts and feelings. Ooh, okay. So this talks about being emotionally vulnerable. So you have this big personality. I find that you, Pawan, are, and I guess because we moved over to the love portion, you tend to connect more with and easily with people that you are not interested in romantically. But when it comes to people that you are interested in romantically, you get a bit awkward and there's some disharmony and like you don't know how to express yourself emotionally. That's that issues with intimacy, that fear of intimacy I talked about earlier. So you can, it's fine with strangers because like you're not emotionally invested. That's why you have performer. So maybe those are some of your shadow sides of kind of like fake and kind of surface level with people. If that makes sense, like you're connecting, you're bonding, but it's not very real on your end. It's real on the other people's end. Ooh, okay. But anyway, this harmony, emotional support, very soon you're going to have to work out those issues, whether it's because you're single and you're eventually going to want something. I can see something coming in very soon, or if you're in a connection or establishing a connection and you need to work through those issues with intimacy and your ability to communicate how you feel in situations where you are emotionally invested, okay? So let's see, falling in love, exactly. The feeling of falling in love is one of a kind. Know that it is safe for you to be in love. People fall in love with you. Most people fall in love with you, whether platonically or romantically, people fall in love with you, Pawan. But here's the tea. Graham cracker. It looks like you're going to fall in love very soon if you haven't already. So just be mindful of that energy because I see it coming through very prominently in your cards. And you can see it too. It's very clear. So let's see what's at the bottom. Courting. This period of development towards a romantic relationship is important. Time will tell. This time will help you both see if marriage is in the cards. Someone is either smitten or will be soon. Love that for you, Pawan, because I feel like you don't really love it for yourself, but you will soon. It's fine. But I do see that energy coming through. So like people, and that's also that energy of people always feeling courted by you, right? You always make people feel loved, and you're getting an energy here of saying, allow yourself to feel the way that you let other people feel. Fear. I'm confusing fear and feel together. So that's a big fear of feelings coming through for you, Pawan. But there's a fear of that because you know how, I don't want to say frivolous you are as it relates to making people feel love. So you're kind of afraid that you're going to not get it genuinely, but the universe says here to open up. So let's get to the gritty, okay? Let's see the sensual thoughts as it relates to these qualities that people admire about you. Tell me more. Give me the sensual energy as it relates to how people feel about pile 1. Okay, so how does pile 1 turn people on? Yep. I mean, you got addiction, and I don't know why I didn't read it that way. I normally do, but people kind of become fixated on you with that unrequited love. They become obsessed, like, right? Like, people obsess over you, even your romantic partners. Okay, so this is also confirmation if you're in a connection or in the incoming connection that you're going to be afraid of, that this person is all in and invested in you for real. Okay, whether healthy or not, right? With that burning heart. And I think that's actually in my thumbnail, so that's cute. But obsession, that's how you get people going. Okay, you see. It's funny because I think I said I wanted 3. Dress sexy for me. So the way that you look, the way you carry yourself, the way that you dress is very sensual, right? Like, something about the way you dress, maybe it is the innocence, right? Like, because you have the innocent card, but something about the way, it's very cutesy. It's kind of like, I don't want to say that this is how you dress. Some of you may, but like, the first thing that popped in my mind was like the anime characters, right? Like, that's kind of how people see you, that sweet, innocent anime characters, and then, Lord, hopefully an age appropriate way. But yeah, that's definitely like the energy coming through. Like, people, especially if you do dress very cutesy, that's how people see it. Entangled. People just deeply want to merge you. Like, it's obsessive energy, wrapped up tightly, just want to keep you to themselves. Like, people cling to you, whether platonically or romantically. People cling to you. So yeah, definitely. Okay, well, we're not supposed to show that card, but something about the way you dress emphasizes your backside, like that card was showing. And like, maybe you wear clothes that are a bit form-fitting or entangled, like clingy clothes, but like, people just really love the way that your clothes fit your form. Okay, that's the very sensual, and like, it makes people want to strip you down. It makes people's heart flutter. You may have a prominent chest area with the heart here. Like, something about your energy and very intense eyes. Like, you may have very vibrant eyes, but that is the energy coming through, for sure. But it's not like a hypersexual. It just is very straightforward. It's like, people will have, if you offer sex, they'll take the sex. Okay, booty call means that most people that you interact with that are attracted to you on a sensual level, they would 100% have the booty call if you allowed. Okay, and like I said, people really admire the way you dress. So like, it's even from a platonic perspective, people like the way you dress. People may dress like you. You may notice that when people are around you a lot, they start dressing like you. But definitely, you're the type of person that people undress with their eyes a lot, and that's how it comes through. Okay, so that is all I have for you today, pile 1. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile 2, if you selected the toasted marshmallow, then this is your reading. We're gonna see what makes you lovable and sweetly more attractive. And then at the end, we'll pull from that erotic sex answers oracle, and we'll see how that turns people on. Okay, so let me push this out of the way, and we'll start right away with these oracle cards. Tell me more about pile 2, my toasted marshmallows. And I did not say this earlier, but you can select one pile, you can select all the piles. So you can either be an ingredient or the whole s'more, okay? Your preference. So tell me about my toasted marshmallows. What makes them sweet and attractive? Protection. So, and I do see eucalyptus here. Eucalyptus, so sorry. You may like that plant or herb, or you may smell like that. That may be like a scent that you like, but definitely the case, okay? And then, like I said, that protection, you may use that herb for protection. Those of you that are very new age, like, what is this? Memory. Forget me not. Okay. Give me 1 second. So sorry, I needed a sip of water. So some of you, this may be a reference to water your plants, okay? But protection and memory, and like, something about that makes you lovable. Maybe this is a specific person or a specific group of people, but some of you, there was a very specific instance where someone remembers you either being very protective over them or standing up for them. Like something about you being very protective and defending someone stands out. Okay, so there may be a specific person that is finding you very lovable now or remembering a time when you were very lovable to them. Okay, so that's an interesting message that I didn't expect to come out. But memory also talks about, along with protection, because one thing about protection, it is fixed energy, it's a guard, it's a barrier. So it's like something about you come across as very memorable. Okay, you're very memorable. People cannot lose their memories of you for whatever reason. Like you're one of those people that stays fixed in someone's mind for life. Okay, I don't know why that makes you lovable. Maybe it's the things that you've done that make you lovable, that make you stay in people's mind. Maybe we'll get that energy. But at the bottom, you have peace. Olive. Yeah, exactly. Peace. So again, whether you're defending someone, protecting someone or something, whatever it is, it's about peace. So whatever you do, you restore peace. And I don't know what your approach is, but you restore peace to situations, to settings, to environments, to people. And so because of this, you're very lovable, right? Like it's very easy to love people that lead with an energy of peace, right? The end goal is always peace with you, and that is why you stay with people, right? Like you may be the type to break up arguments with like strangers, not saying like randoms, but like with acquaintances, right? Like if you're at a gathering and you see something happening, you're the peacemaker, right? I can see that energy coming through for you. Like, hey, everybody just calm down. Like it's a vibe. Let's just let it be a vibe. You know what I mean? Like that's your energy. And so it makes you very lovable because I can even hear people like, look at Pal 2 getting involved. Look at Pal 2. Pal 2 can't just mind their own business. Here's Pal 2, the peacemaker, melted mushroom. So yes, let me get another card. I mean, you did select the mushroom, which is a very mushy, sweet, so very soft, like a pillow, very soft, like a teddy bear. So that could be your nature, okay? Tell me more about what makes Pal 2 lovable and how that makes them more attractive to other people. Prosperity. Okay. So it says the frequency of prosperity supports our feelings of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides. You're the one that hops into like to restore peace, like especially as it relates to like people disagreeing and whatnot. You're like, listen, we're too blessed for this. That's funny. You're the one that's like, look at how blessed we are. This is so frivolous. This is so dumb. There's no reason to, you know what I mean? Like, why worry? You're like, why be worried about it? Look at where we are. Look at the environment. Like, we're on vacation. I'm just making up random scenarios where you're restoring peace. And you're just like, it's a vibe. Like, let it be a vibe. That's your phrase, Power 2. So, yeah, it's definitely, but that well-being and that inclusion, like making sure everybody's involved. Like, why, like, you know, you don't like to see people excluded. So you're the type to challenge situations where people are excluded. Like, you're very, everybody is allowed in your nature. So like that is it is what it is, and that's how you do. You like to enjoy things, you like to celebrate. Everything is a celebration for you, especially in situations that are meant to be fun, like parties, like vacation. That's just how it is. And you don't want to see anybody in disagreements or left out or excluded. Sacral chakra, exactly. It says the frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. And honestly, if it's not conductive to bettering life, you don't see the purpose of it. So like it drama, like hostility, and I'm using the examples of like people in disagreements. It's not even about that. Like just being downtrodden, being a pessimist, like negative habits. You just don't see the purpose of it because you're trying to live in your creative flow, like you're trying to manifest success and abundance. Actually, you may be big on manifesting success and abundance, and that people think that that's really cute and lovable about you. Like you may, especially like in your creative endeavors specifically. I mentioned that in the previous pile, but you just, something about you is highly creative, highly prosperous, and like you don't really allow anything else surrounding you. And anytime that energy of what you would consider to be out of alignment with that tries to surround you, you're like, nope, it's a memory, protection, boundaries, guard up. Like this is an environment of peace. You can either be in peace or you can go away, and that's your energy. People find that very lovable. So let's see what I can get from your tarot. I forgot to mention, because the energy was a lot for me when I first started this, because I'm like adjusting things around me. If you can hear me moving, it's because the temperature feels off now that I stepped into your pile. So you may be the type of person that either feels extreme temperatures or you don't do well. Like you're either cold a lot or you're hot a lot. Because I got warm, and it's not warm. It's not warm at all. I made sure that it wasn't. Like, so I'm just like adjusting everything around me right now. So let me see if I can get more from pile 2. Tell me about what makes pile 2 attractive and lovable. I might take this one since it's sitting there. This came out in pile 1. It says partnerships and alliances. So again, the vibe, like getting along with everyone, making sure everyone's involved, maintaining an energy of peace, definitely the case. But like, I'm friends with everybody. I don't care if you hate this person. That's nothing to do with me. Like, people like that, you don't hold things against them for other people's drama that they have. Like, if, for example, if you have an acquaintance and like 2 acquaintances and they don't get along, well, that has nothing to do with you. You know, like you notate when people can't be trusted in certain situations and environments with this protection. Like, you remember situations where people may not be able to be trusted, but outside of that, if it has nothing to do with you, then it has nothing to do with you. That's your energy. That's interesting. I don't think that I've gotten a personality like that come through. Let's see. I'll shuffle for my other one. 2 of Cups. Exactly. Very balanced. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting heavy with peace. This hand in hand in that number 2, and this 2, I'm getting Libra scales. So I'll see if that energy comes through, but that's that energy of balance, of like justice, of the scales shifting in alignment. Like, you're not really worried about it. If it has nothing to do with you, it has nothing. You can always see both sides. But yeah, spiritual union. So you may, especially with sacral chakra and peace and memory, you may have a very idealistic perspective as it relates to love and feelings and connecting with people, like very spiritual perspective of it, not just because it says spiritual union, but just in general with partnerships, alliances. Like, you deeply connect with the people you're closest to, romantic and otherwise, and people find the way that you extend your love to be very lovable, but only with close people, because you have partnerships, alliances, and spiritual union. So it's your closest friendships. That's probably why you have all of this frivolous, like, it has nothing to do with me energy, because as it relates to like acquaintances or whatever, you'd rather just maintain the peace, but you're not picking sides and settings where you're not committed or connected deeply to someone, right? Like, it's not that deep for you. It's like, I don't even know you two, right? Or I don't know you people. So like, let's just keep it a vibe. Or if it's that serious, if the emotions are that high, then we don't know you, go home, right? Like, that's how, I don't know why I'm getting this read, but I am. So, but yeah, definitely a spiritual union. You connect with people deeply when you do. And in that instance, you get deeply protective and you remember everything and you definitely pick sides. But beyond that, it's like peace. At the bottom, you do have memories of love. I almost want to just leave it here. I will, I will, because I have, one, I'm trying to be mindful of my space. And two, I will pull from a gazillion decks over there. But that's Six of Cups, memories of love. Like, you love and you connect with people, and it's like you're one of those people that once you've loved someone, you'll always love them unless they did something chaotic, and even then you'll have a guard up, but you'll always be able to remember the good times. You'll always remember the good. So like, you're probably friends with all of your exes, or at least in a good space with these individuals, right? Like, there's no one that you really have negative vibes towards. You don't have the energy for that. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I have a lot of distractions going on today. So maybe that's like your energy. Maybe you're either like all over the place and people think that's lovable and cute, or like you're like, people just really want your attention all of the time because of you being so lovable. But definitely, like I was saying, like, you don't really hold grudges against people that you love or have loved at some point. You don't see the point of that. And you're deeply protective of these people, just in general. Okay. But again, that word memories is here again. And it's like memories, like people always remember. Like, I feel like I know I used a specific example in the beginning of the reading, but it feels like people just have amazing memories of you. Like, I'm not saying that like you're like a ghost, that like you're always in people's past, but even people in the present, like that you have relationships with currently, they just always think of you and have memories of something you've done or something you've said, because like your energy is that vibrant that it just sticks with people. Like, people always remember something that Pile 2 did, like that darn Pile 2, because like, I don't know if it's just like you're funny or like you're just fun in general, but there's always some memory that people can tie into a moment and just reminisce about it. So that's beautiful, and that's a heavy influence on your lovable energy, okay? So let's pull from these astrology-based oracle decks. Sorry, I don't mean to knock it. I'm wondering what that is in reverse, because it's very committed to being reversed. Okay, so Scorpio, it says intensity, exposing, purging, and renewing. And this is 8th house of energy. That is transformation, death, it is rebirth, it is fixed energy, kind of set in your ways. But it also, which is funny, because while it's fixed, it's also a very, very deeply transformative energy. And so it's like deaths, it's like inheritances, it is sensuality, but in reverse, very interesting. It's like, you know what? It's like, it's not that deep. I think I actually used that in one of my examples earlier. It's not that deep. Like, when it comes to day to day in life and everything, for you, Pile 2, it's not that deep. And people think that it's just so like lovable and so adorable and so sweet and attractive. Like, no worries. Like, especially as it relates to like romance, for example. When it comes to romance, your partners know that you're not like, it's not going to be a lot of stress in the connection, because like, it's not that deep. You're not going to read too deeply into things. You're not going to try to start a fight. You're not going to try to drag things out. It's not that you're easygoing. It's just that like, you want peace. You're not really trying to do anything that's going to disturb your peace. And right now, pro and protection and prosperity, it just feels like I guess either professional energy or proactive energy, but those words are standing out with that root word of pro here in 2 instances. I don't know why, but definitely, like, it's like, you know how to engage people and you know how to nurture and manage relationships. Ooh, that's a good one. That's exactly what it is, especially with partnerships and alliances. At the bottom, you have Sun, self-express and embody truth, right? So like, you're not trying to make things hard. You're not trying to transform. You're not trying to dive to the deepest, darkest parts of your core and sexuality. You just want to have fun, right? This is Sun. This is Leo energy of just honestly kind of like, in some instances, you may want to manage the status quo with these two fixed energies, but the sun is fifth house energy of joy and pleasure. You just want to have fun. You just want to be a vibe. You want to create memories. Like that's what you like to do, is create memories. You may be the type that always likes to document everything. You may take pictures. You may make videos in a lot of situations. And even if you don't, it's just your whole energy in any setting is to create magical memories. That's beautiful. So let's pull more. People find that very sweet and endearing. Tell me more about pile 2. Makes them attractive. What makes them lovable and sweetly more attractive? That's what we say. I flipped it over, but I saw bring love into the situation, which is your whole read right now. It's your whole reading. So tell me more about pile 2. Makes them lovable and sweetly more attractive. Time for healing and take time to breathe out. These are two very, very similar energies. You just want to relax. You just want to chill. You're not trying to work hard. You're not trying to go through it. You just want to live life in the most positive sense, in peace. Like this is peace, a time for healing and take time to breathe out. You just want to relax. You don't really want to work too hard. You don't want to like be stressed out. Like you're not trying to make it more difficult than what you perceive as it needing to be. So yeah, it's a vibe. Okay. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon of Sagittarius. I think I said earlier, I use that we're all blessed. And in instances where there's like combative energy, you're like, we're blessed. Like, look at the bigger picture. You know what? You can't really see it. Maybe I can put it, I'll just put it up here. There we go. But it's like, yeah, that's fine. But it's like, look at the bigger picture. Look at the, like, when it all comes down to it, what is important? That is your perspective. That is your take. And that is how you approach situations, is what is important in the grand scheme of the whole world and the whole universe and the problems that we all face on a day-to-day basis. Is it pettiness? You know what I mean? Like what is it? Like what's the important thing right now? Especially when it's affecting your fun and rest and relaxation. Your fun, rest, and relaxation, they're not to be played with. How to. And people kind of know that. So that's what they find very sweet and lovable. Like they know that if they spend time with you, it's not going to be any drama. It's not going to, like, you don't want it. You don't want it. So let's see. Tell me more about how to. What makes them lovable and sweetly more attractive. There was a card that wanted to come out, but it went back in. I didn't even see it at the angle that I'm at. I think I mentioned like with the eucalyptus and the forget-me-nots and the protection, like herbs, like you have lots of plants. You may have plants, or you may be into herbs or fragrances, scents, perfumes. But with voodoo here, it does mention some type of religious practitioner, whether we're talking about in the non-traditional sense, or even in the traditional religious sense. But it says magic, practice, power, spell work, beliefs, and rituals. You have a routine that you're not going to let anyone break. I do see that with this fixed energy that came through. Like you're not really trying to be that flexible, right? You're not trying to change and adapt, especially when it comes to your routine. When it comes to your time for fun, your time for rest and relaxation, and you've planned it out, anyone that tries to get in the way of it may actually see the wrath. Like they may actually see your other side. And people, for whatever reason, I guess because you're the one that stands up to the people that are like throwing off the vibe, because it so deeply affects you, because you just want to chill and vibe, people are like, man, this is why we keep Pal 2 around, because they don't care. They will shut anything down. Okay, I want one more and we'll take the bottom. Okay. Rebound, short-term relationships, fast breakups, and grievances. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is exactly the energy that I was talking about earlier. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. So where you're deeply fixed, is your pleasures and the way you want to live your life. You're not worried about the petty surface level drama, right? Look at the bigger picture. You're not worried about the simple petty stuff. And people also find it lovable that this is very specific energy coming through. If you and a person you are dating break up, you truly can be friends. I mentioned that. But like if you see them with someone else, you're not worried about it, right? And you even have the energy of if they see you with someone else, they better not be worried about it, right? Because you're just, it's a vibe. You're not worried about any of that, and like you'll move on, okay? So yeah. Let me see. I think I might want one more. I'm thinking about it. I think I want one more. Tell me more about what makes pile 2 lovable. 2 hit the deck. Let me look at them and see. It looks like you got 3 more. We'll take them. So you got the Hermit, which is Virgo energy, but introspection, meditation, relaxation. This is Zen vibe, right? People find that Zen, deeply spiritual vibe very lovable, okay? Like you might have like a very smooth, very sultry energy. Like again, very routine meditation, might be yoga. Like you just have this whole energy. Like it smells like incense. You know what I mean? It smells like eucalyptus with the crystals and the candles. Like me, you know, maybe this is my power. I didn't pick one, but this is definitely that kind of a vibe, okay? So let's look at the other 2 cards. Expressive, artistic, unique, fashion, courageous, and trendsetter. Exactly. So very in your personal energy, your personal power, very creative energy, very connected energy. And then you do have birth, which is pregnancy, new projects, children, new love. So you are a lover person. You love, you love people, you love creativity, you love vibes, you love your rest, you love your relaxation. You're not trying to be bothered. Any energy of being bothered is not welcome in your space. And then teacher, you always have a lesson, right? Education, knowledge, competence, care, and professor. That's that Sagittarius energy coming through, that house 9, right? The greater picture. There's always a higher perspective, right? Like you have a very high priestess take to situations, right? When it comes down to drama, you do not allow it in your space. You will nip it immediately, okay? That is what's lovable about you. You are very good at controlling the peace of any given situation. You know what the word for you? Diplomacy. I got it. That's you, Marshmallow. Diplomacy. So let's hop right into this love energy. So I told pile 1 that we're looking to see kind of like, because I have 2 love decks and then I have that erotic sex answers deck. And with these, I'm trying to see how you come across romantically just in general, like these really lovable qualities, these sweet qualities, but it can apply to people in general, or if you have a specific connection currently or incoming, it may apply. You may get those messages, okay? So tell me, how to sweeten lovable energy as it relates to how others are seeing them romantically. Heart-to-heart conversations. What'd I say? Diplomacy. Diplomacy. Peacemaker. Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. This is the exact card that needed to come out here, right? You are always looking to close the bridge in your connections, platonic and romantic. This is friendships, this is collaborations, this is professional environments. You are always the one that's like, well, let's talk about it. Let's figure out what the actual issue is so we can resolve it. Like, we don't want to, like, it's a vibe, it's peaceful. There's no reason for it to be drama. I don't understand why there is drama. Let's talk it out. That is your energy. And so with that teacher and that higher perspective in the Sagittarius energy, that's how you approach your romantic connections. You're very communication based in your love connections. And your people that are attracted to you romantically deeply admire that. They love that. They love how honest and clear you are in communicating with them, how you feel, what your needs are, what your expectations are, okay? That's what they value in connections up with you, okay? Especially if this is a specific person that you have on your mind as it relates to this, okay? So let me get to more. Tell me more about the energy. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And this is your vibe, right? As you continue to stay in that is what you constantly attract. So you may always have someone. Some of you are always in a connection because you're just open, and you're open to exploring your romantic options and engaging people romantic, because that's how you learn and evolve as a person. That's how some of you approach romance. Others of you are on that opposite end of the spectrum, right? You've got Sagittarius and then you've got Virgo. Some of you are in that hermit energy where you're not really out there romantically, and so it's encouraging you to, one, stay optimistic about your love life and to continue to be who you are authentically, and then the right energy will come through if that is you in that super single energy. And honestly, both sides seems to be asking a question. Not saying all of you are asking a question, but both of the dominant energies, there's underlying people that want answers romantically. Heart-to-heart conversations and staying optimistic. If there's a conversation that needs to be had, have it. But those of you that are kind of not serial daters, but if you're dating around and you have a lot of connections in that Sagittarius, I don't know why I was saying Sagittarius, like I don't even know if it's a word, but in that Sagittarius energy, it's saying don't worry because you've encountered so many people and you still haven't found the right one. Just the right one is going to come in, right? And those of you that are in that hermit energy, if you eventually, like those of you that are not outside, then you have to go outside. But it, right, take time to breathe out, catch some fresh air. But if you're not like true hermit, if you're just single, it's still encouraging you to be optimistic, okay? So let's get one more. And I also see that as someone that people see as not having any worries as it relates to love. Like whether it's because you're single and content, or if it's because people see you as someone like it's not difficult for a pile 2 to get someone if that's what they want. That's how people are seeing you, okay? That is interesting. You've got retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Oh, that's why. I was like, why is retreat, which is like that vacation rest energy, in reverse? Some of you are too in that rest, calm, chill energy. Some of you kind of, this combative energy is almost because you hate confrontation, you fear confrontation, and it's a limitation romantically for you because you fear conflict and failure in your connections. Like you fear choosing the wrong partner. You don't want to be with somebody you're going to have to actually work at it with, because everything's not always going to be peace. There's always going to be disharmony in some instances. So because you don't like that, you're quick to move on with that rebound card. You're quick to cut somebody off and act like they don't exist. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's not going to get you what you want romantically. So with retreat in reverse, it's saying stop disconnecting so easily in the name of peace. Okay? And then you have engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. And with that commitment comes tough conversations, difficult situations, right? So that is what your issue is here if you're having issues with your romantic. It's not always going to be peace. You can't always, sometimes you're going to have to agree to disagree, and I feel like sometimes that's going to be a hindrance. You can't always work everything out. Sometimes it takes time, it takes experiences, it just takes people accepting that they're different. Like, I don't know, it just feels like you're kind of obsessed. And people find it lovable, but you're kind of obsessed with peace, relaxation, fun, and harmony. And that's not life. Like, you ignore the shadow work in this Scorpio reverse. Like, you ignore that. And you have to do that to evolve. Like, you're always trying to count, your blessings and, stay in a vibe. But part of looking at the bigger picture, because this is also advice for you, is expanding your perspective and learning to evolve and grow and change. Okay? And have difficult situations and conversations that you take on head first rather than avoid. So let's see. Give me another one. I did not. I feel like I'm the teacher here right now talking to you, Pile 2. What's going on? No, it's fine. You just have to grow. It's okay. Let's see. Tell me more about what people find attractive and lovable from a love perspective. Pile 2. Tell me. I'll take that one, but I'm definitely taking this one, and I'll pull a third one. Okay. Getting to know each other. Enjoy discovering new commonalities, goals, and dreams as you get to learn more about each other. So this could be someone new for those of you that are like single, right? This could be someone new coming. I'll put this up here so it's not in my way. Someone new could be coming in that you want to get to know, or a deepening of a connection with heart-to-heart conversations. But it talks about, you know, not being afraid to dive deeper. Stop being so surface level. Actually get to know people, especially those of you that are on that serial dating side. Get to know these people, right? You may find the ones that you're in common with, or you may find the ones that you have nothing in common with much quicker, because as long as you engage people surface level, which is 100% okay to do, but if you do that consistently and that's your only means of relationships, then you never get to know these people. So you may drag something out much further than it needed to be because you never got to know them. And then the second they did something months after, you realize you're not compatible, but you could have known that a weekend if you actually interacted, right? Exciting news. Good news is coming your way, whether it be a pregnancy, an engagement, or moving in together. Get excited to celebrate. Some of you, where is it? Oh, it's here. I was like, where is it? Some of you, if you've been looking for exciting news regarding children, this is your confirmation. But we also have engagement. So some of you will be expecting soon, engaged soon, or just celebrating exciting news. People always feel like there's something excited to learn from you. But I do feel like with exciting news, you'll have some exciting news regarding your love life soon. Okay, so let me pull one more. Divine union. Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay. For sure, engagement is at there, and then you have divine union. It says, congratulations, it's time to celebrate. Both you and your partner have healed and learned the important lessons to allow this union to manifest. So yeah, I mean, if you do what you're supposed to do and you don't shy away from the deeper aspects of connections, you'll be fine. Especially if you're already in a connection, or if you have a new one coming in, like, just don't be afraid to deep dive. Because some of you here definitely are. You have magnetic souls. Your sacred souls are instantly drawn towards each other. So this is how you know, right? And that is also how people see you as well. Like, people are naturally attracted to you. That's why you have so many options, whether you're inside or outside. You all have various options. It's just that my hermits turn them all away. And my, you know, Sagittarius energy, even if that's not your placements, you're like, okay, I'll date them all. You know what I mean? Like, it's just two polarities. And I love how that reads and how they come through the piles. So let me hop in to this last deck. This is my Sex Answers, the Rider Sex Oracle. And we'll get more details on how you're turning these people on. Okay? But definitely seeing a divine union for you in the future. And I don't, energy is ever changing. So I don't look that far ahead. So this is relatively soon, I will say. Okay, tell me. Other lovers. Yep, that's how it is. I told you, you have lots of options. Lots of options. So many people are turned on by you. Like, you're just, lots of energy here. So many people. I'm not saying you have to engage them all, but there's a lot of people here that like your energy, okay? That find you lovable. That one hit the deck, so let me grab it. With surrender here, it looks like you don't even see. You wouldn't even know, especially with the shadows. People you don't even realize, right? And then with surrender, it's like you have them. Like, they are like, listen, if Pautu ever looks my way, listen, that's how people see you. Okay, I think I want two more. I know it's not a super sensual reading, but that's how it's coming. Okay, trust issues. Maybe it's your trust issues coming through. But deep eyes, like, you captivate people with your eyes. There's trust issues here that you need to work through. Honestly, it also shows that like you're something about your energy, the people around you wouldn't even believe that you were actually interested. I don't know if it's because you're a casual serial dater, so they see you at surface level and don't think that you would actually be invested, or if it's because of the other lovers, just in general, like trusting that you would actually leave other people alone and surrender to a connection, or if it's your trust issues they see and like that guard that you have up. Again, the polarity. There's some of you that are really outside and some of you that are really blocked off. I think I'll take, okay. I said I was gonna take 3 more, so I will take the one that I was gonna take and then these 2, and I'll put the other ones back. And I guess I'll shuffle for another one so I can get a true bottom. So let's, stolen kisses. There's a lot of shadow here. You have a lot of secret admirers. And then your lips. People really think about your lips, and they think about secretly sneaking a kiss. Okay, show your wild side. That may be your energy, or maybe those of you that are really reserved, people really want to see your wild side. They think about that. They think about like sneaking a kiss and like really pushing your limits to see your wild side. And then romantic, very romantic energy. People want to be very romantic with you. So this could be a specific person, or it could be just people in general, how they see you, right? Especially those of you with a partner, someone that you're getting to know that hasn't shown you the sensual side yet. They worry about the competition, and they think about secretly sneaking a kiss if you haven't made it that way, and like really being romantic and passionate in a sensual way. Okay, you've got 2. Open a relationship and waiting for you to come. So this may be someone waiting for you to open up, right? Or this is someone, it could be that public energy of people like hoping for their chance with you. But those of you where you're asking about a specific person or someone that's coming in, it's like waiting for you to open up to them. And again, that 18 plus energy of the climax. Okay. We have that head and neck energy here. Yeah, you can see 2 ways. This is a person that definitely wants you at that angle, okay? Or there is someone specific that wants you at that angle, going deeper. Here it is again, right? And again, that frivolous surface level energy, someone wants to go much deeper with you, okay? Much deeper. And that is kind of also advice from spirit, that you have to be able to take a deep dive and see your deeper feelings, and it can't be frivolous, surface level, and casual all the time, okay? So that is all I have for you today. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we have here on this channel. Thank you for watching. All right, pile 3, if you selected the melting chocolate, then this is your reading. We're going to look to see what makes you lovable and sweetly more attractive, okay? And then at the end, we're gonna pull from that erotic sex answers oracle, so we can see how you turn people on in any sexual energy that comes through, along with the sweetness that is you. And as I said in the previous pile, if you missed the intro, you can choose your s'more ingredient, or you can just say you're the whole s'more and pick all the piles, 2 of the piles, whatever calls you, okay? Don't feel pressured. Take what resonates and leave the rest. So the sun is shifting, so I'm gonna try to catch the last bit of natural light. I did take a break, so let's see. You might like breaks. I don't know why I felt called to share that, but I'm gonna hop right into your shuffle. Pile 3. Melting chocolate. Tell me what makes you lovable and sweetly more attractive to people. And also, at the end, I will pull from a few love-based decks, and those can apply to how people are seeing you specifically romantically, or if you have a connection in mind or any incoming connection, however it resonates, okay? Pile 3. Let me see. That was very, very quick. Okay, so dignity. So there's a certain dignity about you. I know that, like, yeah, very straightforward. That's what the card says, but just something about the way you carry yourself, like chin held high, like not necessarily prideful, but there's just a certain way that you carry yourself. And I'm even hearing the word a bit prissy, regardless of like gender or any of the things. It just like everything you do, maybe it's particular, maybe you like a certain structure, you don't like things out of place. Like you're the type of person that even in like casual downtime clothes, you still kind of look a little dressed up. Like that's a thing. And the way like even like you're the type that's like, oh, my house is dirty, and then like it's not. Not to other people, it's just not like scrubbed down, if that makes sense. Like there's just like, that's the kind of thing, like very particular, very nitpicky, but not in a annoying way, right? This is the lovable traits, but just in a wow, like pile 3 is so like has it together. That's the energy. Like pile 3 is so like sophisticated, so like has everything in its place. Like again, that energy of even like dressed down coming across as very elegant, if that makes sense. That's the vibe you give off to people, and like it's very attractive and lovable. So let's see what's at the bottom. And that came out quickly, so that may be how people take you at first sight. Like people may see you, especially if people are used to seeing you like out in settings where you know, are a little more put together. If they run into you like at the store, you still look like you normally do, even though like they can tell that you're not, if that makes, I don't know, I'm trying to describe this energy the way I'm seeing it in my head. Hopefully you get what I mean. But at the bottom we have ambition. And I think that came out in one of the earlier piles. But yeah, ambition, like something about you, just the way you carry yourself in confidence and just certainty. And it's not like, for whatever reason, it does not come across as arrogance. Like if other cards come out, I'll take that back. But the energy does not feel arrogant at all. It just feels like you just have a natural sophistication about you, if that makes sense. Like you just naturally, like you know, people always say bougie, but like you kind of are, and it's not an act. You're not trying to do it for other people. Like even when you're like at home in intimate settings or by yourself, you're still as particular or as head held high as you were if other people were around. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just truly you, authentically. So let's see. I'm also hearing like very clean, like something about like just very clean. Okay, so let's get another card so we can see what's lovable and sweetly attractive about you. Tell me more about pile 3. Exactly, like very in tune with the material world and your environment, right? Like you're very connected to the earth plane, very grounded. So like you may be very into fitness and your health and whatnot. So it just feels like very natural grace, elegance, and beauty. So that, I think maybe that's part of what I was trying to hint at, not very eloquently earlier, when I was saying like even when you're not dressed up, you still look it. Like something about your look and your energy and the way you piece yourself together or keep up with yourself is like very natural beauty and grace, in the sense that you don't have to try. Okay, and like this is the most physical appearance I've gotten of all the piles. So something about the way you look, the way you move, the way you act, your whole, I heard the word scene, right? Like the way that, like the scene, like when people observe you, it's like a scene of a movie. Like something about that is just very engaging. Okay, it says the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother, to the universe that birthed us all. So regardless of your energy, a lot of you here, I will say, have a very graceful feminine air. Doesn't have to be, even if the word feminine offends you. I'm making weird hand signals in the camera, but like if it's not, like it's still, there's a certain grace, a certain softness about you, regardless of gender. Even if you don't want that to be the case, that's just how it is. Okay, you've got heart chakra. Exactly, right? The frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and body. Right, very soft energy. I would even say like feminine, very soft, possibly even divine feminine with Gaia here and the heart chakra together. It just feels very, very graceful. Okay, like you have a grace, like it is. It's very flowy. That's your energy, and it's very lovable. So let me pull from this tarot deck. Even the cards are shuffling smoother. Even the cards. Even that not good shuffle was a good shuffle for a bad shuffle, if that means something. Like even like, so I'm guessing like even your bad hair days or bad makeup days or bad dress days are still good. Very stylish pile. This pile is very stylish. Even if you're not like, if you don't keep up with fashion, your personal style is very just naturally timeless. Ooh, that's a good word for your whole energy and beauty, like timeless. It's giving like old Hollywood. Okay. That's a lot. Look at all of that green. Goodness, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. Okay, I'm contemplating on whether or not I should take it. This is so much green. This is so much green. Okay, let's just take it. It's fine. At this point, it is what it is. I think there was another pile that is for. Okay, so you got the Ace of Cups, Love Begins. The Two of Cups, Spiritual Union. And I cleansed this deck, by the way. And some of these cards didn't even come out today, so I don't even know what's going on. So you got that. I will separate all of the green. Heart chakra again. Y'all, there was another reading this happened in. You may have wanted to select that pile. Even if I wanted to spoil it, I couldn't because I don't remember I don't even remember which reading it was. But let me put this back in the frame since this is what we're doing. You have your own unique way of doing things. I'll say that, pile 3, because I'm breaking the rules of how I want to do this. Okay, I guess I'll put this here. You have the third eye chakra. You might have very, very beautiful eyes. And then you have the wisdom. People like to watch you even when you don't realize it, okay? So with the back turned here. And then this is the Hierophant. This is Taurus energy. So you may be very Venus, right? You may be ruled by Venus, especially Taurus, but the other sign is Libra. But something about your energy is very Venus-like, regardless of if you have those placements or whether or not you have a prominent Venus. Something about your energy feels very like vibrant, like the sun is beginning to set now. So it's not setting yet, but it's shifting, preparing to set in the next couple of hours. But it's sitting here like this. I don't know. It just feels like people are in awe of you. Like something about you, you just radiate beauty and love, literally, right? You've got the Six of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Ace of Cups, all love cards, 2 heart chakras, like, and then you have third eye and the wisdom here. And I'm just trying to connect the dots here because you do have 6, 5, and 4, along with 2 and 1. So you may, it's like levels to this. It's steps. It's an ascension of something or coming down to people's level or whatever. It's an energy, okay? But one thing about it, people love you. Like this is the most intense love I've ever seen in a pile, even for like a couple. So like this is the energy you get from people. People just love you purely. And I don't know if it's because of this energy you give off, but it's just, this is for sure my divine feminine pile. Okay, like it just is. And that's what you radiate. That's what people find lovable about you. Let me see what's at the bottom. I cannot. You can't even make it up. So 6 may be a number for you. Okay, it may be a number. Look at this mess. It's great. It's not a mess. I promise. It's not a mess. But look at the cards. I mean, even if you don't know tarot, look at that. Ace of Cups, 2 of Cups, 2 heart chakras, the 6 of Cups, and then the Lovers, okay? Along with so this is Gemini energy. So people do love your mind. They love your perspective. They love your wisdom and the way you communicate. Again, your eyes. If we're looking at physical features along with just your beautiful face overall and just everything about you meshes well together physically. But again, chest area maybe thing, but this is a lot of feminine people here. Even if not, you got a nice, I don't know, shoulders. Taurus is already at the bottom after I reset, so maybe a lot of Taurus placements here. If not, that's okay. The emphasis here is this Venus energy, this goddess of love, this heart chakra, divine, feminine, God, earthy, Gaia-based energy, okay? So give me more. That's crazy. Neptune. And that makes sense because it's not even like like I think I mentioned like old Hollywood, like filters, like something about you. You look like a real life filter. Some of you here may use different filters on like social media to look better, but something about the way you look in real life and come across to people is, and what makes you lovable and sweet, you just look like a dream. Okay? You may share perspectives that sound like, you may have a nice flowy voice or something like that, but definitely physically, it's very fluid. And I'm not even gonna lie, ambition here looks like you are aggressively attractive, like you are aggressively beautiful and loving. And I want to put this down because this card did call me Painted Lady. Now I know all of you are not ladies here, but this is a heavily feminine pile, so just fit in where you are. But it is a painted lady, right? So it's like you're like, maybe it's the way you do your makeup, or even if you don't wear makeup, some of you here don't at all, but the way you look like airbrush. Some of you just have an airbrushed look, whether you did that or not, okay? But yeah, dream and transcend. So this is 12th house energy. You can see things that other people can't. Probably of the three, my most psychic pile might be, but it's like a dream, okay? And people don't even think you're real. You don't even seem real or look real at first glance, okay? Beautiful energy. Where am I guess I'll put it here on top of third eye, but that's like a lot of 6. Cancer energy, which is also very, very feminine nature. It says nurture, comfort, and protection. This is 4th house of comforts. And so you just make people feel very, very comfortable. Okay, so I know I talked about a lot about the physical energy, but this is a very deeply emotional energy. This is a lot of water. And even though heart chakra is air, it's loving, self-love, and love of others, right? And then you have 2 water energies with Neptune, which is Pisces, and Cancer. And it's just very watery here, okay? Like very watery and nurturing and loving and comfortable, right? That's the energy that you give off, right? Very nurturing. I'm telling you, it's like not even a real person, okay? So let's pull from this other astrology-based oracle deck. You're very comfortable with people's feelings and trauma. With this Neptune, Pisces, 12th house energy, and Cancer, like maternal 4th house energy, you're very comfortable. When people are uncomfortable, you're comfortable dealing with it. Like you can handle other people's emotions and trauma very well. Sometimes you can take it on and it doesn't really faze you, but you're very good at taking on other people's stuff. You probably are very much so an emotional healer, whether you realize it, whether you're conscious of it or not. You're deeply, like you deeply connect with people and their traumas, and they feel better dealing with you. And it doesn't really seem to faze you. Like it doesn't hurt you at all in any sense when people like you're the type of person that like if someone just bursts out crying and like everybody else gets uncomfortable, you're fine. You got it. You're the Cancer energy here, right? You're the Neptune. You deep dive into the deep rooted reason of what this person's going through. Oh, okay. At the bottom, you have New Moon in Libra. That's more Venus. A new romantic cycle begins. Something about you just naturally is very romantic, whether it's your perspective or your air, right? Like you have an air of romance around you. I think I mentioned like romanticizing of a life in a different pile, and you very much so are. Like the way everything you do is like a novel, right? Like that's the way you live and breathe your life consciously. Like you live every moment, every breath, and experience it fully, or at least you attempt to. Yeah, so there's more Gemini energy. And I'll take it as divine energy. Like, so when I say divine feminine, that's the heavy energy here. So if you identify as masculine, you come across as very balanced in your feminine way, whether you intend to or not. And like, that's just the way that it is, because you've got the twins. Some of you may be on the twin flame journey. communication is key. So again, the way you express yourself, it is very dream like, right? With the third eye, Neptune, and this Gemini energy, it's like the way you express yourself. You may have very like a filtered sounding voice. Like it may seem like it's like, you know how I mentioned earlier how like your look, whether you wear a lot of makeup or not, it just feels very filtered, even if not like at first glance. Something about your voice sounds very like, I don't know, edited, right? Like it could be recorded, if that makes sense, even when it's not. So you have a new start is coming in new moon. So very refreshing energy, new, like something about you just really stands out in a very subtle way, because new moons is still very dark, right? It's very dark. Something about you may be very dark and sensual, like chocolate, but at the same time, there's this radiating light, all of this greens. Green might be your favorite color, but either way, like your heart chakra, like your green is just hitting me right in the face, literally. You have new moon in Scorpio, work through your fears. You're not afraid of the shadow sides. I don't really want to cover up any of the stuff. Let me see where I can place this. Maybe I'll put it here. Eventually I'm gonna have to, but for now I'm really liking the vibe. So, but anyway, this is 8th house energy ruled by Pluto, of transformation, death, rebirth, dealing with the deeper aspects of life and not being afraid to. So that's interesting that that came through. So people just find it very lovable how even in the darkest sense, in the darkest times, you still radiate that heart chakra energy. Love that. So let's keep pulling cards and see what makes you lovable. I mean, honestly, like what makes you lovable is your love, like your romance, your romanticized life, everything about you. Okay. Tell me more. Get myself together. Yeah, I'm at a little difficult of an angle. This actually ended up right back. Would you accept the apology, romantic gestures, offers, higher commitment? So it is a romantic gesture. So everything about you feels like a romantic gesture, but people also throw themselves at you, whether you realize it or not. Like it just, people want to throw themselves at you because like everything about you is just romanticized. And I'm going to keep using that word because I like it for this pile. That's the overall energy. Tell me more. So like to the point where people that aren't in your life anymore or people that don't have access to you miss you literally. That's my ice maker, so please excuse that. But it says regrets, missing you, sadness, and sleepless nights. So someone out there is missing you deeply. Okay, and specifically just people in general, because like you have this energy that is deeply missed. It's like it's possible, not, I mean, I say possible, I don't see how, with how much energy is. I don't know if there's people that just had you around for so long that they just didn't realize how much of their light was actually yours, and when you left they really missed it. I see that for some people. But yeah, you're definitely a person that is missed in situations where there's a loss. I'm gonna eventually have to layer over these cards, but we've had it on the frame long enough. Yeah, sadness. Someone out there is deeply sad. Okay, hurt, betrayal, emotional, honor your feelings. But again, this also is an ode to you being very good at handling your emotions as well as other people's. Like you allow yourself to feel freely. Therefore, when people feel freely in front of you in your presence or just mention it, it's not uncomfortable for you. So that's what that is. But someone out there is missing you deeply. There's someone out there with regret, pile 3. There is someone out there with a lot of regrets. Okay, I think I want 3 from this deck. Let me see more. Tell me what makes you lovable and sweetly more attractive. Individuality. This came on another pile. Expressive, artistic, unique, fashion, courageous, trendsetter. I think I mentioned it. I mentioned it like the old Hollywood, very fashionable, even in your personal style, just yourself, and just naturally like this, like you see there's this butterfly vibe right here. That's just you without trying to be, okay? With this, looks like a 90s themed dress style. Some of you may dress like the 90s, right? Or maybe born in the 90s. Virgo energy here, Hermit. keeping to yourself in some instances. Slow and steady. Try to come out. Let me put this back and I'll take this one. Okay, this is funny. That's funny. At the bottom, you have transactional relationships, superficial love, and materialistic. So I feel this is, you give body, regardless of gender and how, you give body, okay? You're serving body, and however you wear your clothes, because I mentioned your style and the way you look, like, you hit them as soon as you enter a situation. People are like, who is pile 3? Like, who is that? That's you, okay? So I'm not getting that, but I'm also giving that at first glance. People may think that you have like gold digger energy or superficial energy or like very materially minded until they get to know you, and then they see all of that green, right? So so sorry, didn't mean to knock that, but I want to get into this tea. So the tea, we had Hermit try to come out, but tea is gossip, eavesdropping, storytelling. Well, the thing about it is, part of what makes you lovable, people do not know your business. It's why you got somebody out there that's like missing you, want you back, but they don't know, they have no access to your life because you're deeply private. People do not have the tea on you. And some of you may not drink tea, you may prefer coffee. You know, that's okay. But with detox caffeine routine, some of you may have stopped drinking caffeine or maybe eliminating it for either health reasons or just nutrition, right? Like, it doesn't have to be actual health, but just knowing that it's not as good for you to have as much, but also routine-based energy of, like, I mentioned you being super nitpicky earlier and like really romanticized in your lifestyle, and therefore like your routine in and of itself is like, okay, well, I need to make sure my house is like this, I need to make sure that I do my clothes like that, and okay, I gotta make sure I take care of my skin and my vitamins. Like, you have a thing, okay? You have a thing. And also, those of you that are drinking a lot of caffeine, this may be a sign to let that go. Okay, it may be a sign to pull back, at least, you know, limit the amount of caffeine. But I think it's interesting. But no, people cannot get your tea. They can't. And I feel like there's people out there that may be a little upset by that. And they may think that you are very uppity with the gold digger card, because this is a very uppity energy, that people may think that because you're very private, right? You're friendly where you need to be, but you are deeply private in about your personal business and your routine, and you don't let a lot of people in. Like, you're the type of person, pile 3, you don't let people just come to your house. Like, you don't let random people come to your home. Especially with you being very particular about everything having its place and everything, you definitely wouldn't have like random associates there, because you wouldn't want them touching stuff. Okay, so let's hop into the love section. So like I mentioned in the previous piles, this could be romance in general, right? Because we are still looking at what makes you lovable and even more attractive as a result. So this could be how people that are interested in you romantically see you in general, or if you have a specific person in mind, or if someone's coming in. Whatever comes through, that's what we're taking. So tell me about pile 3, my melting chocolate. Let's see. That was far. It flew hot. So this may be a very hot message that comes out of right field instead of left, which is funny. So I don't know if that's going to be, because I was going to say it's out of left field, but it came from my right direction. So you may see it coming, but it's still surprising. Like, left field is like, I wasn't, unless you're left-handed. Hey, y'all. But like, most people are right-handed. So we say out of left field. And so if it's out of left field, it's like you didn't see it coming. But for whatever reason, this card is out of right field. You see it coming. So you may not trust it, but it is, right? It says, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And this came out in a different pile. It did. So maybe you see it coming, but you don't have the faith, you don't trust it. Especially those of you that are single, wanting to see if someone's gonna come in. That is a confirmation. You may like affirmations. Getting to know each other is at the bottom. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. That may be a message for someone, but I want to pull 2 more, not 4, 2 more. And we'll pull from that other deck. Got my 2, and then we can use that erotic sex answers oracle. So what is this? Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Maybe a blockage here. I'll take it in reverse because it may be a blockage, right? With the stay optimistic, you may feel like your romantic life is dry. Maybe that is why you have this whole romanticized approach to the way you live day in and day out. Now, I will say the universe says that positive thinking and faith, that energy that you're embodying is actually attracting something. Honestly, the cards that came out lets you know that a lot, right? Especially since you got a new start is coming. Don't worry about it because like you are vibrating from a frequency of love and heart chakra. Just know that like it is coming through for you, especially since you have engagement, right? So stay optimistic. Express your love is in reverse, but engagement, right? Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Okay. At the bottom, you have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. You do have steps on the table. I mentioned that earlier, but yes. So express your love is in reverse. So maybe you have a blockage, especially if you have an ex that you're still interested in. Not saying you do. Some of you are like, I don't want them. You say it in the comments all the time. I love it. Live your life, move on. But again, if there's an ex, it's okay to make the effort. If not, just know that whatever comes in with this new start, communication is key. Just be a little bit better because you're so individual. You're so in your own personal power and ambitious and all of the things. And you're good at nurturing other people, but just make sure you're also good at nurturing your connections romantically, right? Like don't just romanticize your own life as an individual. Be open to sharing that with someone else. Okay? Definitely. And I think it's funny because, I think this is a really cute picture as I'm making that point because as you can see, it's a cute little, like two children and like the little boy's got her by the cheek and he's like, give me a hug. And she's like, whatever, I'm posing for the camera, right? So don't be that way, Pile 3. So let me pull from this other deck. I'll get 3 from this one as well. And then we'll hop right into the erotic sex Answers Oracle to see how you get people going based on all that I've seen here. I will say, I've already told you the body is crazy, the face is goals, and the whole energy that you radiate does it for people. It doesn't matter what you look like or how you're coming across, it still does it, okay? I'm telling you, I don't care how you feel like, that's not me. Well, listen, if it's truly not resonating, pick another pile or find another reader because this is it, okay? Let's see. Let me get more. Tell me more about pile 3. My melting chocolate. This is a lot. Okay, I was gonna say it's taking a lot. And then they're in reverse. So what is happening? You have breakup. Time apart is on the horizon. This may be short term or long term. If some of you are concerned, if that I want you back energy is you, if you're concerned about a breakup, Spirit's saying don't even worry about it because it's not even a thing. If you're afraid of losing a partner, like that's a specific message, okay? And you got best part. If life were a movie, being with each other would be the best part. You both bring out the better parts of each other. So these two in reverse makes me feel like someone, and this doesn't have to be your energy. There's always the polarity. I say it often in my readings if you're not new. Break up, best part, reverse with I want you back. It feels like there's people out there that feel like the best part of their connection with you, romantic or platonic, is over, right? And it's not. It doesn't have to be because with that in reverse, it's saying it's not. But that's the fear. That's the fear of someone or the fear of you is that, or some people is that, man, like pile 3 is gone forever. And like I've already had my best moments with pile 3. So that's sad. And that may be all that sad energy. There's people that are like, man, I'm so sad that pile 3 is gone. Like it's over, but doesn't have to be in your real connections. Okay. At the bottom, you do have security. What is yours will always be yours. This love is secured by the divine. Okay. So if I'll hold it because I want a third one. I definitely want a third one, but that message needs to be said with breakup reverse, best part reverse. It's not over. The best part has not happened. What is yours will always be yours. This love is secured by the divine, whether we're talking about a romantic connection, platonic connection, and various other relationships. So let me put one more, and we'll take the bottom before we can do the other. Let's take it. Love at first sight. The instant, okay, well, hold on. Let me get the light together because, let's see. Love at first sight, the instant gravitational pull you two felt when first meeting lets you know that this is a soul connection. So you got one of those coming in. I mean, you do have engagement as well, okay? You do. So could be past, could be present, could be incoming connection, okay? But that's also how people take you, how people see you, right? They fall in love with you instantly and they want to be your friend. They want to be your lover. They want to be close to you. That's just the energy, okay? At the bottom, you have it's a vibe. Ooh, there was another pile. I'm not going to ruin it, but there's a definite pile that this card should have come out in. It's a vibe, okay? Enjoy the good vibes and energy with this person because they are like no other. And that's what people see. That's why they're sad when you leave. That's why they always fear that you're going to go away and never come back, and that they've always lived their best memories with you already. That's how people feel all the time. They're deeply emotional and deeply attached to you. But again, enjoy the good vibes and energy with this person because they are like no other. And the sun is actually shifting to where it's hitting this card specifically at the angle. And basically, this is a connection coming in, right? Whether it's a present connection or an incoming connection or a revisiting of a connection, right? Could be, or evolution, all of the stuff that we often talk about here. Love at first sight, and it's a vibe, okay? So let's pull and see this intimate energy. Let's see. You know what? I need to get a good shuffle, and it's a vibe is a little bit in the way. So let's move and put it here for a second. It's in the way. What's under here? Manipulation. Some people are trying to manifest you. I'm not going to lie. If you've been feeling it, this is your confirmation. And just know that there's people out here like truly wanting you that bad. Okay. And it makes sense with this energy. This is 100% the type of person that people would try to do like spell work on, and like if they're into that. So just watch it. Y'all know I always tell y'all to stay protected, regardless of your religion. Like stay protected in spirit, stay protected in prayers. And I always discourage people from doing that kind of thing. So let's see. I don't know why I am. Maybe I need a really good shuffle, all right? So let's see, pile 3. Tell me about the sensual energy coming from people towards you. Let's talk about it. Here we go. We've got 1. Hiding my intentions. You better watch that because I did see that manipulation energy. So that you have a lot of secret admirers, a lot of people with ulterior motives, because you got this bright radiating light. And one thing that, like, you know, it attracts flies, right? And like a bright light attracts a lot of flies. So just be mindful that you don't have a lot of jealous or people with bad intentions around you. Just be mindful. Yeah. But hiding my intentions, it really is just secret admirer energy. People that may be sexually attracted to you but would never let you know. Okay, so that's definitely a thing here. Okay, that's a common energy of people that are sexually attracted to you that would never say it. That's way too many at once. Let's see more about the sexual energy. There's so much sexual energy coming from you. I get it. But let's clean it up. Tell me more about pile 3. Thank you. Let's make love in the moonlight. Yeah, lots of secret admirers, people that don't even like people that fantasize about you, right? You have the shadow figures here. But something about nighttime and the way you look in the nighttime or in the moonlight, like, just really does it for people. Okay. And it also talks about like a hidden energy, and it may be your deeply private nature that makes you even more attractive to people. And they want to see more, they want to have a more intimate relationship with you. So let me see what these two are. I think I'll pull two more since this energy is like, it's a very like cloaked, like the word that I'm hearing as it relates to the sexual energy is cloaked. So if you have a level of protection surrounding you, good for you, because you need it, one. But two, just be mindful that you're not guarded to the point where we can't even get that. Okay, you have tease, and then you have romantic sex. Okay, let me see it with this. I can see there's sometimes, honestly, Pile 3, sometimes there's people that like in their mind, like if they can spend time with you, they'll like hide they mean to have sex with you, even if you don't realize it. Like I mentioned, like there's people that are interested in you like on an intimate level that would never say it, but there's also people around that hope for it in settings where they think it could happen. So watch that. And then there's also people that feel like just the way that you are and the way you carry yourself is just naturally teasing. Like you're naturally teasing and like playing hard to get. Okay. I want to taste you. So, you know, people have it bad for you. Let me get two more and I will. That card keeps coming out and you cannot see it. So let me see. You have booty call, which I will put back on the table in a second. I want to get another more appropriate card that we can cover it with, and then I'll take the bottom. Okay, but booty call, that is your confirmation for the message I was giving just now when I said that there's people that are like hoping for the chance to have sex with you in certain settings. Just watch that. And some of you, it's like it could be your person or somebody you're dealing with, right? So it's not chaotic, but if it's somebody just random, just again watch it. So you've got fantasies and please tease me. So people think you play hard to get for sure. Tease, please tease me. Like definitely very attracted to your lips, your eyes, especially if you wear glasses. These people are fantasizing about you heavy outside. Okay, like they want you so bad. And they're also attracted to your, again, body, right, with the booty call, but your eyes, like the whole face card, right? The whole face, the whole body, but like deeply fantasy based energy. I wanted you to be able to see that. So let's see what's at the bottom. Getting mixed signals. Yeah, people think you're playing hard to get. So be clear in your boundaries and in your communication so that people don't get confused and make sexual advances that you don't want. Because like some people, like you have a natural sultry, feminine, sensual energy, and like anything you do, anything you wear may seem revealing. Like, you know, there's certain body types that are just really curvy. Not saying that's you, but something about your energy, it doesn't even matter. Like you could be in sweatpants and a baggy t-shirt, but it's still sultry. Okay. And I think I didn't say that earlier, but there was definitely an implication in that I didn't realize until now as spirit comes through me. So definitely people think you're teasing, right? They definitely hide that. They definitely are waiting for their shots. They fantasize. You got a lot of people fantasizing about you. Lots of people. I'm trying to see if I see anything for those of you that are in connections. I mean, I do, because you've got romantic sex. I mean, you may be teasing your person. They may be teasing you if you're in a connection. But, I mean, they want it bad. Okay? They want it bad. So, if the teasing is on their side, doesn't matter. They want it bad. Okay? And if the teasing is on your side, then you already know. So you don't need the confirmation. But I do see that here, or this could be your next connection. But this is definitely how people that are attracted to you see you and your energy, okay? So that is all I have for you today, Pile 3. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay in the know on the content we post here on this channel. Thank you for watching.